What is going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekly collective tarot for the week of November 15th through November 21st of 2021. Truly appreciate you for being here with me. Hope you're ready for this week. It's definitely a big week astrologically with a lunar eclipse in Taurus. We're going to have that sun by the end of Sunday move into Sagittarius. Venus will go into shadow. Mars opposite Uranus. Oh yeah, things are taking place. So let's see what the tarot cards have to say for this big week astrologically, and yeah, sending you all my best and putting my best intention in these cards to give us an accurate and truthful message that we all need to hear in one way or another in our life. All right, the illumination is the Star card in reverse. I feel like we really do want to progress and we want to move into this new story in our life and kind of see what the stars have to show us, but it's almost like that's the kind of the challenge is we might be getting coerced into moving backwards or getting, tricked in some way into not progressing. We got to find flow. We got to illuminate what lights us up. I think we have to remember we're a star in this movie that we're watching. That's kind of coming in right now. It's like, yeah, there's a giant collective movie going on, and you're the star of your show. You're the star of your life, and you got to find that light this week and keep going. So it's not a time to stop moving into the future, and you don't want to be afraid of new chapters that are trying to take place. Like, gotta identify with how bright you truly are, and let that come out, and realize that, why would you want to go back? Like, we can't even go back. It's not even a real thing to consider. Like, we don't get that. You don't get to go back in time. And we've already had maybe a tower moment in our life, and this is where we're progressing out of that instead of, like, I don't know, feeling like in some sort of, like, place of doubt that, like, there isn't something better in the future, or that the only good times were in the past. Like, this isn't that time. We gotta shine through that and let that light shine. Got the moon reversed for the moon. Wow, two major arcana with the sun and the moon. Yeah, I don't think there's any way we can suppress our emotion this week. Like, if we're just gonna, try and keep things tucked under or hidden, like, they're coming out. Like, there's no doubt about it. And maybe it's some creepy crawlies. Maybe it's some things we weren't expecting, but we're going to have to feel these aspects of life and roll with the change and not try to suppress change or not try to keep things hidden. Like, this is where a lot might be coming up, and we would be fooling ourselves by not paying attention to what's coming up in life. And it's not going to help us intuitively guide ourselves either on the rest of this journey. It's almost like the slide's changing this week. And we got to be ready to go on the new journey and not be scared of it and not suppress how we're feeling about it. Feel every situation, but at the same time, accept those feelings and roll with them. And that's going to get us through areas of life. If we're going to hide from our subconscious and those deep truths within us, it feels like it's going to show up in really weird ways that are actually going to be more uncomfortable than just embracing what's showing up or embracing change and letting that change intuitively guide us. So very strange getting those back to back. Mars got the Ten of Swords upright. Oh my gosh. It feels kind of like getting this card here with Mars is that we like the pain. Like, we want to identify with the pain. And it's like we want to suffer almost. And I don't believe that to be true. That's just the feeling I got. So this is where I think we have to be very conscious of cycles in our life so that we can progress out of the bad cycles, progress out of toxic cycles, out of cycles that keep stalling us or holding us back. Like, this is maybe a really good awareness point, actually, where we have to feel things so deeply and intensely that we realize we're not going to stick any more swords in our back, and we're going to come to a smart conclusion of how to end cycles and how to move forward. And maybe it's by really surrendering in the moment to what you feel ultimately guided and supported by when it comes to the universe and what's showing up in your life. I don't think we can. It's almost like these cards are like you cannot go backwards. You cannot suppress change. And we would be silly to do so because we would just be sitting there at this rock bottom position in life and identifying as like a victim almost. And I don't think we want to do that. So I feel like this is where we're really getting to the bottom of a lot of our own psychological, mental aspects and emotional aspects, especially with that moon reversed, that keep us kind of down, keep us kind of feeling like we can't make a change. When I think that ultimately this week is like the only thing that we get is change. And it's time to start a new cycle that maybe is based more around our intuition and based around not being so like self-detrimental or feeling like we have to hurt ourselves to get through situations. Like we don't have to do that this week. We just have to have a good understanding. If we can just bring conscious awareness and shine light on these areas of life, like we can become that star. We can shine through. Mercury got the Chariot upright. Mercury's like, if you just understand your gut and get out of your head for 1 second and move forward, you're going to find all the power you need to go experience the next stage. This is very interesting. 3 major arcana. Really 2 of my favorite cards, the Star and the Chariot. Like, I would say spiritually, we are moving so far forward and so fast forward into the direction we need to go that it's almost like only mentally can we really understand it, because it's such a like an emotional shock. It's such a change from what we've maybe had such a deep security around, that we just have to be smart like mentally and accept that things change, accept that there's pivots in life that need to be made, and go forward into the new. I think this is where we're really leaving something behind this week. And it's probably something we didn't expect or something we wouldn't feel comfortable to just do, but it's like we don't live in normal times anymore, and now you have to like really understand a better direction, a better place that you can ultimately find new security in. Venus got the Knight of Wands in reverse. Venus goes into shadow this week, and I guess it can feel like aspects within relationships are maybe slowing down, or we're having, to really figure out what's lighting us up in the relationship. So it's like there's this reevaluation process of maybe we were going gung-ho, fast as can be, and into, some love story in life. And this is like, oh, whoa, whoa, Bessie. The horse, it's almost like pulling the reins back and making sure that we really are in it fully. And this could go to everything that we relate to in life. Like life is a giant relationship. I relate to you guys doing this show. We all relate to jobs. We all relate to learning, to spirituality, like all these different areas. Like, I guess this comes back to really making sure that we're relating to things that are progressing us forward and light us up and give us a sense of love into our life. And it's almost like if we're not getting that value or that reciprocated love from any aspect in life, it's time to pull the reins back and slow down. Because, I guess looking at the rest of this reading and how I feel about it, it's almost like if we're not understanding the way forward, we're just going back into patterns, and we're going back into, detrimental patterns that we put ourselves in time and time again. And there's literally no more room to be putting those swords in our back, like especially within our body, our identity. And like we got to stop doing that to ourselves. So I think this is where I guess this week there's such a change that it's a shock, and it pulls the reins so that we can reevaluate what we really want to value, what we really want to be fully in with, and what that means moving forward. And I think that there's a level of vulnerability to all this that we just have to kind of trust our gut. Like that's what these 2 cards are saying, like to me. Star reversed and the Chariot upright. Like we have to understand we are vulnerable in life. And the only way to find security is to keep progressing forward until we find it. It's not always going to be there forever. So I guess it's about finding a new security in new ways that are more divinely aligned. This is a very spiritual card, the Chariot. So the 7th card, the Star card, that's another spiritual card. That's like restarting after the Tower, but with the stars to guide us, with our guides present, being able to disperse ourselves and immerse ourselves in sort of unknown energies that actually bring the comfort we need and the security we need to get through and onto better and new. It definitely, this week's changing the game up, especially with how we feel and what makes us feel secure, and like being able to accept that the only way to find security is to get out of situations in life that are not progressing us forward. Jupiter got the Page of Coins upright. This is usually the abundant position here. So I think the abundance is there's a lot of options out there to create still. Like there's a lot of changes that we can make. And if we're open to the changes in our physical world, we can like plow the fields and get some really nice new growth starting. So I think we need to be curious for what can start growing in our life, for what opportunities can present themselves. And instead of, being a big know-it-all about what life is supposed to look like be open to what it could look like and have that like wonder, like, oh, do we forget about wonder? Like the awe and the enchantment of being able to visualize a better reality instead of just being kind of stuck in like, it feels like kind of a purgatory. Saturn got the 4 of Cups in reverse. So Saturn's definitely, it's like God is really trying to come in and present something special. And it seems like our physical realm here and Saturn is just like going to do everything it can to like pull the rug out from underneath us. And be like, nope, yep, stay in some kind of sorrow, stay in some kind of pity. You don't deserve to feel good. That's completely false. Like this is where we realize we deserve to feel good, but we have to make changes to do so. We have to pay attention to the signs, to our feelings, to our emotions, and to cycles in life here that keep us entrapped, and realize that we hold the key, that we hold the goods. And it doesn't have to be presented from anything outside of us. This is where it's almost like we need to present ourselves with the positive change and the positive reality that we ultimately want. Whatever that may mean. If there's anything in life, I feel like right now that's holding you back from what you really want, this feels like pull the reins on that so that you can get into the new. So that you can like get the field ready to, which the field would be your physical life, so that you can grow what it is that you really want. Like there's a new chapter here. It's just like we don't want to go into it. What's Pluto saying? Ace of Coins. It really is like a whole new physical, opportunity in our physical world. Be it our values. That's what's transforming with this eclipse in Taurus. There's so many opportunities that we haven't even began to scratch the surface on what those could be. And it might feel like there aren't opportunities because that's part of this illusion that you need something presented to you, when maybe the greatest part of it is realizing that you can create the opportunity. And maybe it's a deep transformation of really knowing how to manifest, really knowing how to get an opportunity to find you by you maybe just manifesting it out of thin air. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's such a change with these cards that you just, if you can get through maybe the fear or doubt that there's a strong light at the other side, and that by moving out of situations that will actually be better, like you might just have your mind blown with what shows up in your life. Absolutely blown. I did already shuffle this deck, so I'll just do a couple little cuts. part of fortune, increase. It's so funny. This reading was so like kind of nervous to move forward, even though we know and we are curious to move forward, that like we're not going to have the fortune that maybe we thought we would have in this, like whatever we were at or whatever it was before, when it's like this whole week is about fortune. Like it's about new opportunities for a fortune that we probably couldn't even imagine. So I think that, you know, we got to look at where we can increase our lives and get out of situations where we're becoming very aware are just decreasing the quality of our life. So it's pretty positive to get that. Moon, 8th house, Leo. I guess we're transforming into really finding security in our light, to really finding and trusting our creative potential, that we are the star of the show, and that, you know, we got to put the attention on us to make change. If we want to increase and have fortune in life, we have to know we're the shit. We got to take center stage and transform our life to find that, to what lights you up passionately, what lights you up from the heart, and are you ready to move in that direction and to make those changes? And I think this is where it just has to be so deeply embedded into you that you're the star of your reality. And if you can do that, you're going to make the transformation to bring in the fortune, to bring in like a something amazing. I feel like this week's trying to show us that there's opportunity. There's a infinite number of ways opportunity and abundance can find us, and the way we relate to that has to change. Like it has to transform. So we have to like trust our deepest form of the star that we are. And I bet you we find an increase in our life instead of feeling like there's something decreasing. But I think we have to just be willing to keep moving and to not let our subconscious play tricks on us, or to not, you know, be detrimental and keep doing the same thing over again. This is where it's all about moving into the new, into the unknown, and realizing that you are the only one that can save yourself from any aspect of life that you feel like you're not getting enough. I hope that was helpful. I think I needed to hear that for sure in certain aspects in my life, and it's a big week. I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of goes down like that, you know? Feels accurate, feels right. It's intense, but we live in intense times. So I hope that you all find your light. This is, I think, a great week to realize how much of a star you truly are. Like, you're the only star in your life. You know, we all have Leo, we all have a sun, and we're all that special. And we have to realize that and start using it to our benefit and to create a world that we ultimately really want. And that doesn't mean thinking we're more special than anybody else. It just means that we got to trust that star potential that we have so that we can attract in something that's clearly trying to come in and increase our life. But there can be a doubt or a fear around letting something go and letting that great gift in. So I hope that in some way, shape, or form this week, we can all find that courage deep within us to make any change, to realize our star potential, to let that abundance in. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I will catch you very, very soon. Much love. Peace.